The lion's proposal to the cat, the bitter truth of our world. Deep in the heart of the forest, in a cave whose walls echoed with the roar of countless generations of predators, there lived the mighty lion named Raja. His powerful roar caused all the forest's inhabitants to tremble, from the smallest creatures to the largest beasts. Even the brave tigers steered clear of his domain, and herbivores would flee in panic at just the mere mention of his name. Yet, nature has its ironies. One day, a tiny mouse by the name of Peepee happened to wander into this very cave, unknowingly entering the lion's territory. She thought it through. It was simple. Since everyone was too scared to approach the lion's den, it must actually be the safest spot in the entire woods for a little creature like her. Peepee decided to dig herself a cozy little hole in the farthest corner of the cave and made her home there. During the daylight hours, when the lion was awake, she sat quietly in her hiding place. At night, when the king of beasts enjoyed a rich man's sleep, she ventured outside to look for crumbs and seeds. The lion never even suspected the existence of such a tiny neighbor. Month after month passed slowly. Over time, Peepee's fear of the lion gradually diminished, and something even more dangerous emerged: contempt. Some king of beasts, she thought as she observed the giant sleeping. All his life, he has been scaring the forest dwellers, yet he can't even notice a mouse. Then, in the small head of the mouse, a clever plan for revenge started to form. Since fate has given me this chance, she decided, why not teach this tyrant a lesson? From that night on, Peepee began her secret war. Every night it would come out of its hole and nibble the lion's luxurious mane with its sharp teeth. In the morning, Raja woke up and found wisps of his golden hair on the floor of the cave, but he could not understand what was happening. For the first few days, the lion wrote it off as a natural molt. Then he began to suspect the birds, who he thought were stealing his hair for nests. But when the loss became too noticeable, and his beautiful mane became a pitiful semblance of its former splendor, he finally realized the truth. The lion, with a fury comparable to an antelope's chase, began to hunt the mouse. He scratched furiously at the walls with his sharp claws, attempted to smoke out the mouse with thick smoke, and even tried flooding the hole with water. Yet, each time, the clever mouse skillfully escaped through hidden passages he had created during his stay. Eventually, driven to despair and frustration, the lion realized he couldn't manage this on his own. His gaze then fell upon Murkesh, the cat who resided on the forest's edge, known for skillfully hunting small prey. Murkesha, the lion addressed him in a sweet, honeyed voice. I have an offer you simply cannot refuse. Move into my cave. I will provide you with the finest meat, protect you from every enemy, and all you need to do is get rid of just one pesky mouse. The cat was overwhelmed with joy, unable to believe his luck. To live under the mighty protection of the king of beasts himself, to feast on the best game, and to have no worries about tomorrow, what more could one possibly dream of? He agreed right away, without hesitation. Murkesh relocated to the cave, and his life underwent a dramatic transformation. Each day, the lion delivered to him the freshest meat imaginable, whether it was a well-fed hare or a plump partridge. The cat never faced any refusal in any request and grew increasingly lazy and complacent with each passing day. Meanwhile, Pippi, who caught a whiff of the cat's scent, cowered in the farthest corner of her burrow, filled with terror. Her nocturnal outings came to a halt. The lion's mane finally received a much-needed break, and the long-awaited peace settled over the cave. The lion was very pleased with the outcome. Whenever he heard even the slightest rustling from the mouse hole, he would immediately rush to Murkesh with an especially tasty treat, saying, "Eat up, my friend, and gain some strength. Your presence is truly my salvation." Months went by in this perfect harmony. The cat chewed happily and enjoyed life, while the mouse slowly starved to death in his hole, and the lion enjoyed his peace. However, as we all know, nothing lasts forever. One day, when the lion had gone hunting particularly far away, Pippi, driven to the brink by hunger, decided to make a desperate move. She emerged from her burrow seeking a crumb. Murkesh, dozing after a meal, smelled prey. His hunting instinct, dulled by satiety, awoke forcefully. One precise leap sufficed. The lion's issue was solved in seconds. That evening, when Raja returned, he sensed death in the air, the predator's satisfied smile evident. Finally, thought the lion with a sense of relief. That mouse is no more, my mane is secure, and the cave is peaceful once again. However, a new thought emerged, one that was cold and calculating. Why should I continue to provide for this cat now? The problem is resolved, the favor is fulfilled. Why expend energy hunting for someone who is no longer necessary to me? Murkesha, still oblivious to the shift in his master's demeanor, purred with satisfaction and recounted his triumph. He didn't have time to finish his tale. A single powerful swipe, and the loyal assistant lay beside his victim. The lion gazed with indifference at the two lifeless bodies and then yawned contentedly. Now his cave would indeed be truly quiet once more. The moral of the story is this: in a world driven by calculation, people value you precisely for as long as they find you useful. When your usefulness is depleted, the benefactor of yesterday might turn into your executioner. Always remember, true friendship is not tested when you are useful, but rather when your usefulness has ceased to be needed. Be cautious of individuals who are overly generous with their promises. Often behind every favor, there might be a calculated intention.